Hello, everybody, this is Kyrie with more Let's Play Undertale, the Genocide run. And, answer to last video's question, 9. I have made 9 videos just of the fight with Sans. He might have been included in a 10th one. This actually makes the 10th full Sans fight video. So 10 to 11 videos, depending on if the end of the last video I actually did any fighting. The last video meaning the one before the 9 starts. You know what I'm saying. I have literally had Let's Plays that did not last as long as this goddamn fight. Fuck, Stick of Truth I don't think well no, Stick of Truth did. Deadpool did. Deadpool was 6 episodes long. Probably 6 hours long, too. I don't even know if I posted Deadpool on YouTube or not. I might have. But yeah. This fight took longer than Deadpool. That's the game, Deadpool. Not like the fight, not unlocking the character. Fucking the game. Intro to end credits. The game, Deadpool, was shorter than this fight. Swirl that in your goddamn noggin for a second and realize how fucked up that is. And then realize that I'm probably not doing half bad for a Genocide run. You know? Watch, I'm gonna look at other people's Let's Plays and find out that the average... Fuck! We're done. Find out that the average Sans fight is like 3 half-hour episodes. I'm like, no! I do need to look that up. I really... If there is another Sans fight after this one, once I'm done crying, and that might not be a joke, I may legitimately cry, but once I'm done crying, I think I'm going to look up YouTube, look up some YouTube videos, not watch them, because I don't have that kind of fucking time right now, but see how many people have done a completed Genocide run. Or even just look on my web browser and see how many YouTubers have done a Genocide run that they have proof of. Because anyone can say they've done it. Like, shit, man. 420 mode and Five Nights at Freddy's, I do that. I do that every morning. I wake up, pee, do 420 mode, feed the pets, that kind of shit, walk the dog. Yeah, then I start recording. That's how I wake up every morning. 420 mode, man. Oh my god, but of course, there's no proof, so that could be me talking up my ass, and in fact I am. Problem is, this game taxes my resources. Literally, it does. Like, for example, I felt full a little while ago. Now I'm starting to feel hungry. And by a little while ago, I mean the start of the previous video. Like, if this were a Sims game, the act of recording triples the consumption of my stats. You know, like my hunger meter goes down faster, my bladder meter... Well, that just kind of stays the same, honestly. Because it's not when I have to pee, it's when I notice I have to pee. Because that whole Sims 3 thing, like, oh, I've got iron bladder, I actually have that. I do still have to pee, but not a lot. Well, I do a lot, but I mean, I can hold it. I just choose not to most of the time. Because most of the time, there's no reason to, you know? Like, if I ever got to the point where I would become a senator or congressman, I could do a filibuster. Because I can stand for a while, I can not pee, I can definitely not eat, I've done that before. Hell, here's a drinking game for you. Go back through some of my older videos and see how many times I mention the fact that I'm hungry. Or better yet, go to Henri's channel and watch every episode of Cards Against Humanity that I'm in, and just fucking take a drink every time I mention that I'm hungry, and that's coloring my judgment. and you will probably die of alcohol poisoning, because it's very rare that I was in one of those episodes where I had actually eaten. More often than not, what would happen is I was in one of those episodes, and then I'd say, hey, I just ate, so... My stomach was practically a co-star of those fucking games. You know... Shit, didn't mean to do that. You know, I'm starting to wonder if there might be some truth to my little superstition. Because I've explained gamer superstitions to my friends, and I have one that I'm kind of notorious for that's really weird, that I refer to as luck urine. And as weird as that sounds, it kind of makes sense in context when you think about it. At least if you think about it from a superstitious sense. Which is, if I'm having a good run in a tournament, and I have to pee, I will forego peeing on the off chance that my urine is what's making my dice go. And I don't want to literally piss my luck away. So if you put me in a fucking 6-round tournament, and by round 2 I have to pee, I will not pee until one of 3 things happens. 1, I win the tournament. B, I lose a match. Or 3, I'm about to literally detonate. And when you consider that my record is about 10 hours holding it, the last one isn't likely. That's why I didn't consider it the first time through. I'm like, wait, maybe I should clarify that if I'm about to piss myself, I'll pee. I have a Kryptonian death bladder. And of course, since I mentioned Kryptonian death bladder, now I'm sitting here thinking, I wonder if Luthor would ever try and market a really good cereal called Krypton Crunchies and slowly add kryptonite flakes to it in an attempt to kill Superman. But that sounds very much like a Golden Age story to me. And if I look that up and find out that's actually a thing, I wouldn't be even slightly surprised. Because the Golden Age of comics is a very weird time. Shit. Not sure how I lived through that. You know, speaking of Golden Age stuff, I remember, I think it was in the Green Lantern animated series. Not animated series, the cartoon thing, because there is actually one called the animated series. And comparing these two is unkind, but Green Lantern had an alien sidekick who rode him like a butt-fucking backpack. That's what it looked like. It looked like he was trying to choke him while he butt-fucked him. And it only just now occurred to me why that's so pointless and really stupid. I mean, I knew it was stupid, but it just occurred to me why that was stupid. Because I'm sitting there and my brain's immediate response is, well, how else is it going to fly with him? I'm like, he's the goddamn Green Lantern! He could fly and make the guy a bicycle to follow behind him in space like E.T. You know? I wonder if that's still a ride at Universal Studios. If so, I kind of want to go on it again. Because I only went on it once when I was a kid, when I went to Universal Studios the one time I did. And we got the spaceship. And I saw the kids there like, oh man, did you get the bike? I got the bike. So he hopped out of the basket, you know? And I just, no. I don't know. I couldn't vouch for that. I had the spaceship. Almost got out of there unscathed. By the way, I love how the first half of the game is so routine for me that I literally don't notice that I've beaten the first half until he starts sweating. Like right now. That's how just casual this has become for me. It's the fact that I no longer even notice that I'm almost there, because I don't look for it anymore, because it doesn't matter. It's almost a given that I'm going to make it to that point. It's the stuff that comes after that concerns me. Nope. I wonder if we're going to have any kind of weird dinner plans today or not. For the tournament. Sometimes we get some kind of food after a tournament. And I imagine that might, if anything, be especially true on one that takes place in Tampa. That's a long drive. And then a long tournament, and then a long drive home, you know? I wish the slams didn't speed up, or they didn't get beyond the second stage of speed up. Or the first stage of speed up, rather. Meaning this point. If this is all the slams were, I could do this. If he doesn't do slams again, or if I can ace B the lead, then this is almost certainly going to be the run. Yeah, I literally just got to the point where I'm like, fuck it, I'm tanking it. I think I got unscathed that time. And that time. Nice. Okay, this might... Shit, slamming me again. Okay, after this, definite heal. Noodles. Shit, lasers. Shit, lasers. Oh, fuck me, lasers. Now, the goal of this one right now is to make it to the final attack without using that pie yet. If I can do that, then I will have the best chance of getting through it. Come on, Pyrex. You're so close. You're so fucking close. I have to use it or else I'm gonna die. Well, I'm gonna die anyway now. Fuck it, just let it happen. Stay positive. See, the thing that really sucks is you're going to find out. Basically, you'll know before I will whether this is the run or not. I mean, yes and no, because I mean, on the one hand, I'll know before it ever goes up. But you'll be able to look at the Let's Play and know, oh, there's only 43 episodes, he must have the run. You know? Okay. Almost! Fuck. 4 out of 6. So hungry right now. But I can cook later. I'm down to ramen again. It's just a thing that happens. I really shouldn't be doing this at all. I should be working on the 4-job Fiesta. It's that has a fucking time limit on it. We're done. I couldn't have saved that right there if I wanted to. I kept missing too many jumps. And I mean, I literally couldn't, because I couldn't jump on the platforms to save my ass. No save. No save. Will anyone answer? Oh, she's dead, and I don't have any friends. I killed them all. And they didn't even have neat stuff for me to take. I just don't get nihilism. I really don't. But then again, unlike... Like, for example, I have a couple friends who just have a nihilistic streak. I'm not gonna say they're full-on nihilists, like, oh, nothing matters, but they're the whole world's shit, it all needs to burn so we can start over, and I'm thinking, you say that, but if it did, you would fucking die. I'm like, oh, good, I don't care. I'm like, no. You say that because you haven't been put in that situation. You're like... Because they don't have the context of how good they fucking happened. I mean, my roommate once asked the question, not asked me directly, but basically mentioned, you know, like, I don't know why everyone thinks the judge guy is rich, because he doesn't make that much money. I'm like, I'll tell you why they think he's rich, because of the shit he does with his money. Like, for one particular month, we went to M&M 3 times before HeroClix, where back when I was living in the apartment, he would take me up there, and he would get like $50 worth of stuff. And then we'd go to the game store, and he'd buy like $20 to $50 more stuff there. And the next week we'd repeat the process, and then again. And you're thinking, okay, he buys a lot of gaming stuff, what's the big deal? The big deal is he's never played any of those fucking games. He's had them for over a year and never touched them. And I have a couple games like that myself, and in some cases I have reasons for it. But, those reasons are never because I bought 30 games this month and haven't finished the ones I have, you know. But he can't understand, for example, why I don't want to go camping. And the funny thing is, he kept talking about how he has this, when he first got his new house that he lives in, he's like, oh, my neighbors are so far away, I mean, I've got so much room, the neighbors aren't up my ass anymore, and I've got all this land, and I saw his house, and I'm thinking, no you don't. Because I had like 2 acres up in Crystal River, which was all fucking woods, you know, and he's like, oh, my neighbors aren't even... His neighbors are like maybe 15, 20 feet from his house. My neighbors were like 15, 20 minutes from my house. It was kind of a walk. It was a case where if something went wrong, we were all fucked. Which makes me extra glad that we moved from there while Mom was still in good health, because otherwise she'd be dead right now. She would fucking be dead. Because we live way far away from any other hospitals, or from any hospitals, period. And this is Crystal River, where we have not just dirt roads, but fucking sugar sand roads. If you don't know what that is, it's super fine sand that only really holds traction if it's wet. The problem is, you can get stuck in them. So let's say, for example, Mom had one of her heart attacks that she had had many of. Or even that she had that diabetic crash that almost killed her. That is the reason that she lost the ability to walk coherently, because they thought she was going to die, so he didn't bother sending her to any kind of rehab, and her body just atrophied. And if you hear that and think, well, Kyrex, why didn't you guys sue? Now you're saying exactly what I said. Why didn't we fucking sue this guy? That's just unspeakable levels of medical malpractice. No, she could be dead in 6 months. Put her on hospice. You know? But let's say, for example, we did live near a hospital, and they got an ambulance out there in plenty of time. Well, sugar sand. It hasn't rained, so guess what? Now the ambulance is stuck in front of the house. Sorry about your mom. You know? Not that the ambulance doesn't have plenty of equipment equipment in it, and the people aren't trained, but it's ridiculous. But yeah, I have a whole different flavor of context than he does about living out in the woods. Like, oh, it's fun to go in the woods. Yeah, it's fun to go in the woods. It's not fun to fucking live there, and I lived there. And that spoiled me. Not spoiled me, it ruined me. I can't enjoy camping. I couldn't. I've lived it. You know? What for you is a fun little weekend thing, for me is a fucking reminder of the nightmarish hell that was my high school years. 2. Oh my god, that was so good. I can't believe I did that well. I saved myself on that one at the last second. I'm like, I don't remember this being a thing. And then I remembered, oh, it's not a thing. Stop moving. Bullshit, Sand. Bullshit, Sand. Bullshit. That was so fucked. You saw what he did, right? I just realized that with my bonus thing, the noodles are now a full heal as well. Alright, I really need to figure out where I am. There we go. I know where I am now. Sans preparing to get his ass wet. Full heal, let's see it. Please don't die, please don't die, please don't. Fuck! Oh, never mind. I know where I am now. Not now, kitty. This is literally the worst possible time for this. Oh, sorry. Okay. Almost had that. If the cat hadn't jumped up here and made me nervous that she was going to start trying for cuddles, I wouldn't have ran into the laser. Sorry, Winkles. You spooked Daddy. A little bit. Lay down, kitty. Yeah, she jumped up and I'm thinking, oh, Winkles, this is literally the worst possible time for cuddles. But yeah, I did both of those Be the Leaf parts really well. Not flawlessly, because this is still me we're talking about, but I did good. I did real good. If I can do that again, then I'll own this shit. Nope, no saves. And then I can finally put this game away. I love this game, but I'll be very glad when I don't have to play it anymore. There are definitely perks and flaws to being a Let's Player. One of the flaws is I can't just stop this, because I've announced way too many places that, oh, I'm doing Undertale, and now people are going to want to see it. And I announced that, oh, I will be doing the Genocide run, oh, I have started the Genocide run, etc. So, that's stuff that's out there now, that someone could still potentially have. So, when Undertale doesn't materialize, and when the Genocide run doesn't materialize... Whereas if I were just a normal gamer, I could say, fuck this, I'm gonna reset it and have fun again. You know? funny thing is, I did ask Sammy. She has never done a Genocide game. So I've mentioned several times the last boss, but never who it was. Although I did hint that it's pretty much the only person you never fight. That's not, say, a shopkeep, you know? And it actually, before I found out that Sans was the boss, it always did kind of confuse me that he was pretty much the only one you never fought at all. Worst part is I'm probably using up all my damn luck here. Which, the funny thing is, with the tournament, there's really no reason for me to go, because I don't have the money for my own boosters. That means I'm going to be borrowing boosters if I go, if he takes me. And there's one of any 6 different reasons why he might not. Like, he might not come to his dad's, he might not decide to go, he might decide that since I'm broke, I don't want to go. Because he's done that a couple times. He's decided... He's known shit that I was really excited about and really eager to go, and then made the decision that, oh, I didn't want to go because I didn't have the money. Even though I told him, don't leave me behind, kind of thing, you know? So this would not be the first time he's done that. I'm like, you said you didn't... No, I never said I didn't want to go. You assumed that. Because that's the other flaw he has, is his memory will rewrite shit. He has one of those memories that rewrites history. Like, for example, we had a tournament for the White Lantern Batman figure that one of my friends wanted to be in on. And we had a vote, apparently, on when that would be held. I did not have part of that vote. And he voted basically to have it on a week that she couldn't make it. And I knew she couldn't make it, which is why I didn't vote on that, or wouldn't have if I was there. I was not there. I had been next door, back at the bookstore's old location, at the Dollar Tree getting a soda at the time. Well, he had told her that everyone, including me, voted for that. And I found out about this because I got a very pissed off call from her about this. Like, why'd you vote for that? I'm like, I wasn't in the store. You know? Because I raised hell with him too, because it wasn't a good week for me either. Because I think this is one that we had to pay in on, and I didn't really have money. So I had to come up with money for a tournament that I wasn't even ready for. But, yeah, he has one of those revisionist memories, and it really pisses me off. It makes it very hard to talk to him sometimes, because he remembers a completely different reality than the one everyone else lives in. Like, I've told him sometimes, I'm like, dude, I don't talk to you because you tease me about everything I do. He's like, no, I only tease you about stuff you do because you don't have a job. And you're wasting time on stupid shit. I'm like, no, that's not true. You would tease me anyway because having a job had nothing to do with any of these things. You just think they're inherently stupid. No, I don't. Yes, you fucking do. I'm like, you tease me about everything. No, name one thing. And I proceeded to name 3 things. That doesn't count. Yes, it fucking does. You know? I mean, I have witnesses that you've literally teased me about pretty much everything I've ever brought up. And I basically told him there are certain topics that I will not discuss with him unless he's brought them up first, because I'm just opening myself for ridicule. Like, I refuse to tell him where my channel is, because I don't want him to have access to it. Even though a couple times he's indicated, oh, I might want to do a couple of your video things with you. I'm like, no. For one thing, you're kind of a flake. For another thing, I don't want you to have access to my channel. As a result, very few of my HeroClix friends that are not my friends elsewhere, I'm not saying they're not my friends, but I'm saying they're primarily HeroClix friends. Very few of them have my channel, because I don't want the chance that they'll name drop it to him. Fuck. Wasn't paying attention. Wasn't paying attention. Fuck me! I was so busy on my rant that I didn't notice I was awesome. That I actually got to the final area with most of my healing items. And by most, I mean like 2 or 3. Wow, being awesome fucked me in the ass. Who knew? But, yeah, I basically told him that anything you don't directly bring up first, I don't consider safe conversation. Because if you brought it up first, that means it's something you like, so you're less likely to make fun of me about it. Like, I like conversations where he makes fun of me for knowing shit about Star Wars. For, like, knowing fan shit. And not just, oh, I saw the movie, so I know this. No, I know stuff because I follow it. He's like, well, no one knows. I'm like, fans do. It's like, even P3 doesn't know that. I'm like, yes, he does. You told me. I'm like, well, then how come he kept up with me on those fucking conversations if he didn't know that shit? You know? He's like, I don't know anything like that. I'm like, then you're not a fan. You're a casual fan of pretty much everything you indulge in. Actual fans learn about the thing they're fans about. That's why they're fans. You know? That's the reason why I own the horrendously outdated Star Trek Encyclopedia, because I was a huge Star Trek fan as a kid. I still am, but oh my god, so much of it. To the point where I finally saw that, I'm like, oh, I have to have this. You know? I own the CD Conversational Klingon, which is to teach you how to speak Klingon. I'm horrible at it because A, I'm bad at languages, and B, I can't get through the, let's call them voice exercises without laughing my ass off. Because you basically have to grunt and shit. And I don't know if you know this, but sitting at your computer, sounding like you're trying to bring up a hairball is inherently funny. And it's quite giggle-inducing. Shit. So, as a result, I don't know much Klingon. I would love to. I wish I had a freaking chip or something that I could plug in and learn languages. I wish that I could just wake up tomorrow and know French and Spanish and Japanese and Klingon and a couple other languages, you know, and just be able to speak them fluently. And with the proper accent, you know. So that if someone says something to me in a language that I shouldn't know, I can just respond back, whatever, you know. Whether it be sarcastic on their part or just general conversation. I wish I could do that, but I can't. But it also doesn't help that my friend, while also being a partial nihilist, is a massive conspiracy theorist. Like, well, I checked the good conspiracy websites. I'm like, there are no good conspiracy websites. If there were good conspiracy websites, they'd be called websites that have facts. You know, they'd be called, like, scientific websites or historical websites, and not conspiracy websites. Because there can be factual conspiracies, but when you're talking conspiracy theories, you're talking bullshit, you know? Just as a matter of course. Because if they weren't bullshit, they wouldn't be conspiracy theories. They would be facts of reality, you know? And it does concern me to a certain extent that he buys into some of the woo medical things, you know, like, oh, human body can do this, you know, we're actually programmed with all the language and knowledge in the universe. I'm like, no, we're fucking not. It wouldn't bother me so much if he weren't also a nurse. You know, he, of all people, should fucking know better. But I tried to explain to him the rather funny situation of sovereign citizens, and I should have known better, because him being the conspiracy theorist, he will buy into most stories that he hears. And it's kind of sad to see how gullible he can be about that, where if he hears something, he assumes it to be reality. Like, well, the sovereign citizens have won a lot of the cases. I'm like, no. No, they have not. They have not won any of them. Because they're citing laws that don't exist, or that haven't existed for decades, or that even when they did exist, didn't say what they say, you know? I mean, that's like me trying to cite Federation law from Star Trek, you know? I mean, well, you should know better. This is Federation law. Well, we're not the goddamn Federation, are we? You know, Star Trek law doesn't matter. I could fucking cite the laws of Kat Karina. That doesn't mean anything. Like, oh, don't make metal tools. Don't eat meat. Don't make fire. You know? Which, that was, oh my god, that book had some of the stupidest rules, and it really upset me. The reason those rules came about, and the fact that the whole world followed them. Because basically, the world is like a post-apocalyptic Earth, you know, and there are humans, and then there are animal humans, and I forget what the names for them are, but they have names, and like, they're cat people, and lion people, and elephant people, and whatnot, and they all have different traits, and they're not capable of interbreeding. Also, it's mentioned several times that the animal people don't have emotions in the same way that people do, like they're physically incapable of understanding the concept of love, for example. You know? Like, one of the human characters fell for the aforementioned Kat Karina, and you can just hear his thoughts, and there's like, oh, I'm in love with you, I'm falling in love with you, and you don't even know what that means. And that's just stupid, because if you read a lot of the interactions with the characters, it's there, you know. But the gist of how these laws came about, apparently there was this super peaceful vegan alien race that came to Earth and basically like, no, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. Oh, what's that? Metal? Oh, no, you shouldn't do that. Fire? Oh, fire's bad. You shouldn't do that. You're eating meat. Why are you eating meat? You shouldn't eat meat. You know, we're vegetarians. You shouldn't eat meat. What the fuck? I mean, I am severely carnivorous. Not obligately carnivorous. I eat other shit that's not meat. But I don't fucking see you at McDonald's eating a salad, slap that shit out of you, like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Get a burger. You're in McDonald's, you know? Nor would I do that. You know? And it's not even like, oh, you're a vegetarian, you're wrong. Maybe you're not a vegetarian, but you do like salads. And even if you are a vegetarian, that's none of my fucking business, you know? The only reason I raise hell with vegans is because vegans take it to the point of ridiculousness. And while there are legitimate reasons, I believe, for being a vegetarian, I don't believe there are for vegans. You know? Like, oh my god, you killed that chicken to eat it, that's horrible. Sure, that's a legitimate reason. It's a stupid reason to me, because there's a thing called the food chain that basically says if I don't eat this chicken, something else will. Fact. Unless something happens during or after that chicken's death to obliterate its remains, something will eat it. Be it a predator, worms, bacteria, something will fucking eat it. And if it's going to be eaten anyway, why shouldn't I eat it? You know? And of course, there are really stupid responses to this. Like, well, then why don't you eat people? Because I have no desire to eat people, and that is actually frowned on by society, and we were not engineered to eat our own species. We did not evolve that way. Some species do. Spiders don't have a problem eating other spiders. You know? Or you might say, well, why don't you eat your pets? I'm like, because my pets aren't part of the food chain. And that's another thing. Humans, as a rule, really aren't part of the food chain. I mean, yes, we eat, but first world humans are not part of the food chain. And if I were a third world human, eating my pets or eating my relatives might be a thing in times of drought and famine. You know? Hell, China. There's a dog called a Chow Chow. You may have seen it. That dog was bred to be eaten. You know? But again, that's why I disagree with the whole vegetarian thing. But veganism, the act of milking a cow and turning that milk into cheese does not horrendously impact the cow. You know? And it just doesn't work for me. But yeah, that whole alien race in that book is like, oh, you shouldn't do this thing, you shouldn't do this. These are the rules we're giving you. And it's not like they were an overruling race. It's not like they took over humanity and forced these rules on. They basically, from what I understand, landed there, spent a couple years just kind of wandering the planet, and fucking left. And humanity never saw them again. And that is bullshit. That is some seriously anti-Prime Directive shit right there. And they basically have these sail trains where they have trains that have sails and they move cargo and shit that way, you know. And these like metal, or not metal, but wooden pins and all that, wooden railings. And one of the guys turns out to be this huge heretic that uses metal. And when everyone finds out, they're disgusted with him, and he basically says the most reasonable thing in the world. I think how it happened is he was out hunting and he had his obsidian knife to defend himself against predators. And the knife broke. And he found a shard of metal and he used it. And he's like, my knife broke. Why shouldn't I use the metal one to defend myself when my own knife broke, you know? And I'm sorry, that's entirely reasonable. With very few exceptions, the laws of nature pretty much state your life trumps another animal's life. Now, humans, again, a lot of times live outside the laws of nature, and not in every case is that a thing. Like, for example, zebras and, say, wildebeests operate under a system where I keep you alive, you keep me alive, mutual benefit kind of thing. So it's not always every man for themselves. But it's just, I don't know. I don't agree with it. We're getting back to Valkyria Chronicles levels of I don't agree. Alright, I'm gonna start watching his text again. Shit. I can't even cancel out of that. I tried. I'm sitting here. Well, I didn't try, obviously, but I wanted to. I'm gonna look at a thing real quick. This is what, episode 64? Fuck. We're getting into stupid levels right now. I just want to take a look at my calendar here. Or not 64, 44. Yeah. This is the last episode of the year, and this is going to carry into 2018. Because I can't fucking beat this. Unless I do it in the next run or two, there's going to be another episode. But yeah, this is the last episode of Undertale for the year, so I hope you enjoy your new year. Hope it's going better than today is. And like I was saying, I just don't talk to him about my hobbies. I'm tired of getting made fun of. I've literally said I've had bullies who didn't make fun of me for my hobbies as much as you do. And if it weren't for the fact that, and I've told him this to his face, because he likes to call people autistic when they think anything differently than him. That's his thing, and I finally yelled out basically, "You're autistic." "No, I'm not." I'm like, "Yes, you are. You have no fucking social skills." You know. But if it weren't for that fact, the fact that he genuinely cannot understand that what he's doing is wrong, I wouldn't be his friend. Like, I got into a huge screaming match at the bookstore with him once, to the point where I literally was 3 seconds from punching him in the face. And I don't get violence as a rule. Not to mention that would have ended very badly for me, because he is bigger and stronger and heavier than me. You know? And I hit like a girl. So... But once he had left the store, the woman who worked the counter is like, "You realize he doesn't mean to be an asshole?" I'm like, "Yes, that's why I didn't hit him. That's the only reason I didn't hit him, is because he doesn't know any better." But yeah, he cannot comprehend. And it boggles his mind when he finds out in any case that he's the one in the wrong. Like I said, he liked to make fun of me in the car one time about the Star Wars. And he's like, "Hey, say that thing about Star Wars again," you know, intended to show off. "See, he's fucking autistic. He knows all this shit. He knows it from memory. He doesn't even have to look it up. He knows this. He's gotta be autistic." And he expected everyone in the car, which was Anubis and P3, to join in and start making fun of me. I think Skinner was there too. And to his horror, P3, when I mentioned something, said, "Oh yeah, that was a cool moment," and then we immediately launched into a conversation about Star Wars without him. Because, guess what? Fans know stuff about stuff they like. And of course, Skinner knew a lot of these books too, so he jumped in, and Anubis knew a little bit, and every now and then he'd chime in, but he doesn't talk much anyway. Anyone who's seen him do co-commentary knows this. Meanwhile, Judge is sitting there in the front seat, all alone, because he's the one who doesn't know what's going on now. You know, now he's the one who's the butt of the joke for not knowing this shit. And the funny thing is, he also didn't understand why I laughed in his face the one time he suggested that I'd read all the Star Wars books. I'm like, dude, I haven't touched a fraction of them. You know? Like, how many could there be? I'm like, several hundred. Like, no. I'm like, yes. I think from memory I named like 60 that I had read. You know, or even heard of. And if it weren't for the fact that I really need my hands to concentrate, I'd start... Well, I don't need my hands to count, but it helps to move my hands. But if not for the fact that I kind of need to concentrate here, I'd try and see how many I could name now. But it just irks me that stuff that's normal, he thinks is just strange. Like a fan knowing something. Now, I could see a normal person knowing this shit. Oh, that's absolutely strange. Like, oh, why would a normal guy know the lightsaber forms? A normal guy wouldn't. A Star Wars fan would. Like, let's say the Star Trek Star Wars divide is a real thing, and that you're only a fan of one. If I'm a Star Trek fan and I know that shit, that's strange. Although it could be because I got into an argument with someone and they brought it up. You know, and that's why I know it. But for a Star Wars fan to know that? That's like saying, to a Star Trek fan, what rank was Spock? Spock was Commander. You know? How do you know it? You didn't even need to think. You just knew that. You must be autistic. No. He's Commander Spock. You know? Knowing Spock's parents' names, that's a little trickier. I believe it was Amanda and Sarek. I know Sarek, but I think his mother was Amanda. And his adoptive, well, not adoptive, but stepmother was Perrin. I remember that because I hadn't heard of her, and I read the reunification book, and they kept calling. I'm like, when the fuck did Sarek get married again? You know? Who is this parrot. And the funny thing is, in Star Trek, not only did Sarek get married again, after his wife died, he got married to another human again. So, Sarek has a type. He likes them emotional beings. And no, I wasn't saying she's emotional because she's a woman. I'm saying she's emotional because she's a human. Because, yeah, for those who don't know, Vulcans, very stoic race. It's kind of their thing. Alright. That was stupid. It didn't register. I finally figured out why I've been so damn cold at night, though. They apparently put the temperature down to 76 at night. Which... I wish I had socks, so I could have warm feet. But it drives me nuts, because during the day it gets so damn hot in here, and at night I freaking freeze to death. I wish they just picked one. But it's not my place anymore. Like back at the apartment, the temperature hit one spot and stayed on that spot. I almost had it. Okay, let's stop with the fucking slams. Unless you're gonna go back to slow slams, stop it. Hi, lasers. Kind of hard to fight a being who can warp time and space and win. Well, time anyway. Wish I could warp space. I wish I could get flowy save state powers with Flowey. Okay, last one. Alright, let's see if I can do this. Can I do this? Can I fucking do this? One more. One more done. One more and done. I'm gonna run out of fucking hard drive space at this rate. I really am. Hell, what have I got on here now? Left, I mean. Okay, I've still got enough, but yeah. My hard drive's a bit cluttered. I'm down to like 13 gig. Most of which I keep reserved for my fucking Let's Plays. Alright, after this I gotta call my friend and see if we're gonna play today or not. Because if we're not, then I'm gonna get some food, and I'm gonna launch back in a 4-job fiesta. And if we are, then I'm gonna get some food and get ready for the tournament. Unless, you know, he wants to stop at McDonald's or some shit. Oh my god! Is this the run? Is this the run? This might be the run. Come on, Kyrix, you can do this. Incidentally, that line about the ramen noodles, they taste better dry. No, I've had them. I like them better with goo in them. I actually told the roommate's girlfriend, I said, if I can find out whatever it is they use for flavoring in these and get some of it, like lots of it, like boxes or jars of it, I will literally start cooking my noodles in it and just eating it as some kind of horrendous soup. Shit! Well, there went that run. I was doing real good until that last second. Wish I had that damn flower, the ability to save state. That would be so awesome. If that were the case, I'd have beaten him ages ago, videos ago. Probably not the first try, just because of how difficult it would be to dodge all that shit. But I definitely wouldn't be 10 videos into this fucking fight. And of course, in the long run, all that save stuff didn't matter at all because I still used 2 healing items. I do love that I'm actually confident now, like, I still don't think I could beat this thing with the healing items I had, or even come close to it, but at least now I'm confident to the point where I'm sitting at 15 hit points and I'm not freaking the fuck out. It's not like, oh god, I'm dead. No, I'm gonna be fine, and I know I'm gonna be fine. But I've done this 1,000 times! And this part isn't scary anymore. Now, this part, on the other hand, is. That's another thing. Notice now that I've got the big healing items, I don't bother getting myself to full anymore. Shit. Because it's kind of pointless to do so. Well, I mean, I could, but there's no need to anymore. Because I can recoup whenever I get low. Gonna need another piece of snow. I wish he only slammed at that speed. If he only slammed at that speed, I'd have beaten me. Or even this speed. But it's when he starts slamming so fast that I lose the thing. We're gonna switch to the controller real quick. Just in case he does slams again, I'm gonna see if this helps. But this is probably gonna kill this run, but I don't care at this point. Let's see what we got. Time to be the lead? It is. Haha! See? I fucking called it. If I just had the controller for those segments, I'd have been fine. We're gonna let him wear down the purple. enough with the fucking slam, you asshole. Getting some noodles. Like, fuck that one. Pie time. It's high time for pie time. Fuck. Well, we're done. It's been a good run, but it's over with. The last second. Well, that does it for this run. See you next time, everyone. See you next year, everyone. Bye-bye.